my gosh! It's perfect for you. Ah, she's like singing out of my soul. Sometimes we get lost in our own little world, but it's all so much bigger than we realize. What's up, everybody? I'm so happy to be back in studio for a brand new Ren video. He's been talking on social media about having some troubles with certain social media platforms where he was getting, put on hold, his account blocked, claims being filed that he was trying to sell drugs or promote the selling of drugs. Sounds like he's in the slaughterhouse, struggling with his health more severely again, going through that whole legal fiasco with Sick Boy, which, if you guys pick up the reference, is what led me to have this shirt designed, Hold My Earrings, because I was in big sis mode. I was frustrated with what was going on with the whole Sick Boy legal debacle. But Ren does not give up. He keeps putting his work out there. He put out his new track. I can't wait to listen with you guys. Make sure to subscribe and grab yourself some merch. Slaughterhouse. Oof. All right, I'm starting over. How is it possible that within the first couple of seconds of the notes being played, from the choice of instrument to the way that the piano is being played to the notes that are being chosen, I'm already getting a Slaughterhouse vibe? Granted, I know that's the title of the song. Maybe I'm projecting, and it just fits beautiful. All right, let me shut up. Here we go.
Somebody, anyone help, I've been going through hell. Hell, I've been going through. Hell, I've been going through. I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been feeling like deleting myself. Man, I've been going through hell.
Walls are closing for the chosen. Bodies stripped up, zipped and frozen. One by one we'll all fall down. Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
Crawl over shards of shattered glass, a masterclass of surviving inside a plaster cast. Martial artist, Arkham Asylum, night's darkest. Half-heartedly, haphazardly start this. Shallow tombs, open wounds that don't heal. Cold steel incision, a mountain made a molehill. Through fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive with the mouth-to-mouth. I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold. Goalpost moving, grow up then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black holes. Tobacco, I light up with my hat low. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing, while the sword of Damocles is beckoning, hackling thoughts that torture porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come king that brings the contrast to conquer his sins I bring? Whispers caught by the wind aboard the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. And pain makes men out of boys that were lost, it's across to the homies. And some get body bags, it rag tagged, and it still hurts low key. These concrete streets breed wolves from sheep in the land of the holy. And the legend don't die, I love that guy, this one's for the broskies. Pedal to metal, you know how he The devil and Jezebel coming for A jackal is hiding inside of my Taking your rosy cheeks, painting them blue. Turning your clique into skeleton crew. Stripping the soul from the base of your shoes. So watch my tongue, my words are laced with I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the booth. Switch up the star like bisex, impress your heavy lift, tricep, bicep, I flex the thunder and lightning writing on Tesla. Connect direct, disconnect. Working in a lab, a mad bad like Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head that collector. A million degrees, graduate semester. A bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say. People like
The bicker as humanity erodes.
OKK with an AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Killer goals, giddy sick of the most. QB quicker on the trigger, click. Empty chamber, fill it reload. I cock it and hold, bullet in the chamber explode. And burrow through the pricks, go, let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, sucker making crack. When I spread, that's the bread and the butter and I bled. For the love of music dead, undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker, G. Sick, yeah I'm sick. I think I told you that I'm sick. Sucker click, and when I pull up on your click. Click, homicidal traumatic. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.
Oh my gosh. God. What in the... God. God. Dude, dude. The feelings that I'm feeling are conflicting. The beat was on another level. This might be one of my favorite tracks, beats, flows, when it comes to the composition from an entertainment standpoint, from a musical standpoint, the kind of stuff that I vibe to, that I jam to. As you can see, the stuff that I want to dance to. And so we're talking about a really heavy, dark video, a really heavy topic, but yet you have a beat that makes me want to just jam and get down to elements of that reggaeton and the dance hall and fire fierce. I mean, I would have to listen to it again and again. I might just have to listen again with you guys just to experience it again. The musical composition took me on this ride from, oh snap, the beat just dropped, to dang, we're getting into dance mode, even though it's conflicting with all the things that I'm seeing and hearing. To then his cadence flow being on another level, the way that he was going off. Again, one of the things I love about his style when it comes to rapping is that he takes you on this journey emotionally, intellectually. You have to be sharp, you have to stay on it, and you might have to listen 500 times and we'll still find something new. But it's crazy to me because as he's rapping and going with this flow, he keeps switching it up. He's on beat in precision, beautiful precision. This is just talking to musical composition and the ability for him to flow with his cadences when it comes to rap. That is not easy, okay? Many of us can probably hold a certain tune. Many of us can maybe rhyme a couple of things and maybe even stay on beat. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If it yells, ba ba boom, da da ba sha ba da boom, whatever. But to be able to mix it up, you know what I mean? Obviously that I wasn't rapping, but you see what I'm saying? Being able to flow and to take your listener on a ride. It is crazy to me to think that Ren, with all the pain and everything he's going through, is still putting out work like this, consistently creating art for himself, for us. Now, one might say, maybe he is able to tap into another level of creativity because of his pain. Sometimes hardships in life, existential fears, death anxieties, heavy diagnoses, severe struggles will make us have to face ourselves, have to face our demons, have to face our questions, have to face God, if you will. And it allows you to tap into a whole different level. Maybe because you have nothing left to lose. Maybe because you've lost everything. Maybe because you're afraid of losing it all. Whatever the motivation behind it, you can tap into some of that. And you see that in history, even some of the greatest of the great who have done wonderful things, but when you look at their life story, it was not one of constant bliss. Those who have actually achieved greatness, who are actually making a difference, oftentimes have suffered and have experienced some type of turmoil. And those type of stories impact us the most and impress us the most because, for one, it's relatable. This person knows suffering, so do I. It's more powerful to see someone rise from the ashes and experience that pendulum like we saw in Hiren, the way we all know in life, and to different degrees. And that is so empowering, right? When you have almost like a contradiction within a person, where you have someone who is blind or deaf, and yet they're the most amazing composers or dancers. You have someone who has lost severely, and yet they can somehow encourage someone else. Those type of comeback stories, those type of stories of something that's risen from the ashes like a phoenix, that is that's impactful, that gets our attention. It's relatable, it's personal, and it just hits different than someone that just has a pretty voice. And we know this. I don't want to repeat too much of the things that we know and many agree on, is that Ren is really on another level with his art. And I'm not saying that because I'm just some type of fangirl. Yeah, I'm his sister from another mister in my mind. I don't know if he would accept that title, but that's what I'm saying I am. And I have my moments where I'm like, hold my earrings. It's time to go to bat for him. And then there's other times I put on my therapist hat. I try to be objective and just simply analyze or tap into what this is doing for me. Different hats, different days. But this type of stuff empowers us. It affects us. He has such an ability to artistically paint a picture for us with his words and his music and his beats and his tracks and his compositions, regardless if he's playing on piano, if he's playing the electric guitar and just running up and down that neck like it's nobody's business, creating an emotional piece with the piano that has us in tears, or it's him rapping to a beat that you would think is just there to be entertained and jam and start dancing to. And yet, He is bringing topics that are so heavy. That's why it makes me mad, and maybe another moment of taking my earrings off when I hear these stories about him trying to be ripped off or having legal battle, or when I hear social media platforms trying to cancel him and take him off. Like, what the heck, y'all? We're out here, people being trafficked, and modern day slavery still a very real thing. Children's innocence being taken with things that they're being bombarded with. We have the internet where there's so easy access to absolute perversion, violence. And then you want to tell me homeboy is promoting selling drugs? Really? I mean, I understand sometimes things get lost in the filter and in the algorithm. The system ain't perfect in no regard, nowhere it is. So you have these situations maybe where things get filtered or claimed or blocked because somehow the system saw something, flagged it for the wrong reason. All right, fine. But after you appeal that, and after hopefully a person behind the screen looks into it, you would hope that if we look at things in context, even here, it is not an idea about promoting violence or selling drugs or being perverse. It is art for one, but there's also a message. And that's why I'm saying he's an artist at another level, because he's talking about heavy things, personal things, powerful things in a very incredibly artistic way, beyond just laying it in front of us. And that's when you know you have art. When you can go to a gallery, you look at paintings, but it's not necessarily obvious and in your face. You have different interpretations, but it speaks to you, it impacts you, it changes your life possibly, and you can see the artist's hand and voice and heart behind it. Okay, so all that to say, another level of art. That is not even to talk about how powerful this topic is or how skillfully he just wordsmithered that. His literary art skills are on another level. I mean, if that was an essay, congratulations, you can graduate. Summa cum laude, magna cum laude, here's your PhD. Congratulations, you have succeeded at the English language, at literature, literary art. And I know he's well-read and well-versed and an intelligent person, but it's just so freaking impressive to be able to do that all while singing and rapping. I loved the female voices in this. Beautiful complementation, beautiful complementary element here. It almost sounded angelic and light and sweet and feminine, stark contrast to the masculine energy. Not that women can't be violent or that blood and knives and gore cannot be something that women are interested in, okay? Don't take my words out of context. You can try to cancel me. Let's go. Take my earrings off. Big sis back in the house. Don't take my words out of context, please. Obviously, male, female, whatever. But it just was this beautiful, more female, sweet touch to the gory and the intense. Total Dexter vibes in my mind. The blood against the plastic. I wonder if him being in that chamber-like plastic wrap, airtight, what is that word? There's a word for that. Not like a Ziploc, but almost like when it's like the air sucked out of it and you're like, kind of when you're getting ready to like freeze things, freeze locked, air locked, whatever. You get my point. I wonder if that was a little hint he gave us on social media the other day when he showed us one of those chambers. He was showing us something about his, treatment plan where he had to be in some type of chamber for his health. And I wonder if that was a little nod or Easter egg towards him here being in what was more of the plastic version of that, some type of airtight Ziploc. Now, of course, that also worked with the lyrics that were speaking of a body bag and dying. It was hard to hear him say that he has thought about deleting himself, expressing how his health struggle has been so severe that he has had moments of just complete despair. Then, as I mentioned, those Dexter, the blood, the slaughtering, very much relevant to slaughter, but in no way condoning violence or trying to be gory just for the sake of it. And I think it's the same thing with anger, when we have our moments where we take our earrings off and we express ourselves artfully versus just being violent. It's another thing to have elements of gore and bloodiness without it just being for the sake of gore. There's a message here. This is art. And I think it's really kind of like the catharsis of cuss words, where sometimes it almost feels like there's no other word that can better convey what this feels like. And in the same sense, sometimes you put things in art and it's almost like if we were to water this down and not showcase the bloody horror that is suffering, it wouldn't do it justice to really understand how severely his suffering is. And I feel like this was very personal to him, speaking of his struggle beautifully, literary art-wise, just working through all that turmoil and the temptations of wanting to end it all, the suffering within that. The body bags, the references to other people that have gone before and them being zipped up in body bags and it making us sad, seeing other people suffer. This was not, this, to me, this also wasn't just talking about his own pain, but also about suffering in general. The slaughterhouse, right? A lot of people left and right in pain. Many of you can relate, in pain and suffering. And we see people around us zipped up in their body bags, so to speak. And it makes us sad. It causes us grief because it brings up these existential questions. It brings up death anxieties. And Ren addresses these heavy topics in a skillful way. I'm amazed by this. I also feel when you had these soldiers with machine guns, to me it also made me think a little broader beyond Ren's personal suffering or other people who are suffering, who have died due to the suffering of the world. It made me think of also politics and the general climate of it feeling like a slaughterhouse where the innocent of our society suffer all over, even still in real time. Children, many people, innocent people, suffering in a cage, so to speak, either literally or metaphorically speaking, because they're chained by or restricted by war and by poverty and by suffering. And it's a slaughterhouse. It's the powerful going around controlling the borders. Again, I don't just mean that politically, I just mean that philosophically or metaphorically, if you will. The fact that it was Ren behind the mask who shot Ren, I feel was symbolic to it. Made me think of antibodies. You got your white and your red blood cells, and you have the various elements of our body that are either meant to heal us and to fight on our behalf when there's a virus attacking us or some type of ailment. But then there's also those situations, as in with autoimmune disease, where the body attacks itself. So him shooting himself, on one hand, could have been a nod to wanting to delete himself, but I think even more so was a nod to his body attacking himself, his body destroying himself. Even the way that all of him, they looked like a bunch of Wrens, were surrounding him, and you had the white in the middle and the Wrens dressed in black around. Again, maybe also a reference to the various parts of our body, the red and the white blood cells and the various parts of our body that are meant to work with us. That circular motion, it all feels cyclical in a way. Maybe that's a little nod there to how this is cyclical. That slaughterhouse is not just something we all struggle with in our own life, but it repeats generation after generation: war, physical ailment, disease, diagnosis. And that's just a poetic way that I'm interpreting that. I'm just going to have to listen to it again with you guys, and I'll try to stop here and there. Those chords on that piano, so poignant.
Somebody, anyone help.
Elysium. Elysium was a movie, a 2013 dystopian science movie about humanity surviving on an overpopulated, ruined Earth as the super rich escape to a luxury space station. So that's kind of powerful. Also, the word means a state of great happiness. Okay, so you have a song called Slaughterhouse, and the word that is a reference to a dystopian sci-fi movie with, I think, also a bunch of soldiers and their machine guns fighting in this action sci-fi movie. So interesting that he would have soldiers and machine guns patrolling a border, if you will. As I mentioned earlier, maybe that feeling of the elite and the politics and the tension of your regular innocent person being led to the slaughter and suffering. But also the word meaning a state of happiness, which is in contrast to him behind this tarp of plastic trying to get out. Complete contrast, right? You have slaughter versus state of happiness.
Anyone help? I've been going through hell. Hell, I've been going through. Hell, I've been going.
And then here the alliterations and help and hell, but also the word, what was it? Tartaros. What is that? Tartaros. I love how he's having all these Greek words in here. Greek mythology was a deep abyss. Don't judge me. My first language is German, so be nice. Used as a dungeon of torment and suffering for the wicked and the prison for the titans. The references here to the Greek gods and to this contrast between a state of happiness and a place of complete torment. Sheesh.
I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been feeling like deleting myself. Man, I've been going through hell.
And then Gaia, as I mentioned, that word means earth. Beautiful Greek origin meaning earth. Also known as the mother goddess, personification of earth. Okay, so you got a state of happiness, you got earth personified, and you got torment. Contrasting. And then even the color scheme here, you got the orange, off orange, burnt orange feeling. You have the dark greens and that somber black and gray. Really amazing cinematography. And very honest from the start. Somebody help me. I've been going through hell, been thinking about deleting myself. But even the brrr, right? Total just bringing in some of that deep hip hop and rap. Here also, one by one, we're all forgot. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. So this is not even just personal suffering, as I mentioned earlier. This is this idea of we're all in the slaughterhouse. We're all suffering, being forgotten. So it's this duality, if you will, of personal suffering, but also suffering beyond physical ailment, human suffering, being forgotten by the elite, living this life where you're suffering and you're just headed towards death. I mean, if there's ever a song about complete despair, this would be it. But it's done so artfully that in my mind, this is beyond just someone wallowing in the sadness of human suffering. This is artfully talking about a very uncomfortable, heavy topic, which is necessary. And then here, that beat drop was fire. Or even here, Ren running away, right? And these soldiers with their flashlights and their guns. I feel, again, here, a picture being painted of a political climate, of a world where you are being chased, where you're being targeted, where you are suffering and you're being picked off one by one in the slaughterhouse, right? Like you're the next pig or the next sheep being led to the slaughter. But still, even still, a double entendre in my mind of him running away from himself, because those soldiers that he was running from ended up being him. So it's this crazy cyclical. And again, maybe that's why he was standing in a circle in the end. Maybe here too, again, that reference to that cyclical pattern of it's not only the people on the outside, kind of like the thing he talks about in Money Game and Money Ties, where he addresses the fact that it's not just, the bad elite and the rich guys and their money games and we're all the victims. It's also saying, hey, we're capable of this too. We're just as much part of this game. And here I see the same picture or parallel of saying we are being slaughtered. They are out to get us, but also revealing that Ren was the soldier, basically saying we are also out here hurting ourselves. And some of that is due to no fault of our own. If you've been diagnosed with a sickness or an autoimmune disease or some type of ailment, or if you've experienced grief, someone died or you went through divorce, a lot of hardships we go through, not necessarily always our fault. Things happen to us and we suffer. We're in that slaughterhouse dealing with the torment, looking for that state of happiness and trying to figure out what it means to be on this earth, right? But at the same time, sometimes we're also doing it to ourselves. We are often also still part of that problem of hurting ourselves or choosing certain things that are harmful for ourselves. And it's important not to completely take ourselves out of the equation and go, it's just the system. There has to be an element of duality here, of seeing both the big picture, but individually also addressing the suffering and the pain we each are experiencing in order to hopefully try to find some type of peace or closure or remedy for this life on earth. The shattered glass feel. That little thing where the soldier shot the person behind the tarp and then the tarp falls down as if empty, that may have already been a little hint about that's not really Ren. He's not really there. He's hunting himself or he's shooting, but actually that tarp is empty. Was it an illusion? And then here it almost feels a little bit like a experimental chair, right? Almost like you're in some horror chair, slaughterhouse. You're about to get tortured and picked apart. Very dark and eerie and bloody and messy, but real. This is real. This is an artistic way of talking about human suffering. And we all fall on a different level on that spectrum. When we look at the world, human suffering is a hard concept to understand. And people have been trying to understand it for the millennia, right? From Greek philosophers to various people that have tried to understand where are we from? Where are we going? What is the point of life? The degrees vary, but it's just phenomenal how he will talk about very heavy, profound topics in such an artistic way, but all on a beat that's so modern and relatable. I mean, come on. Modern day, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Bach in one.
All over shards of shattered glass, a masterclass of surviving inside a plaster cast, martial artist, Arkham Asylum.
See here, masterclass. Sorry, masterclass, plaster cast. I mean, the rhymes, the literary art. I know I say that so many times. Haphazardly. I mean, come on.
Through fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive with the mouth to mouth. I stay
oh my God, the mind made a molehill.
Post moving, grow up, then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black hole.
The Valley of Doubt. Here, that might be a reference. Well, it is a reference to biblical references. Even later speaks of kingdom come or something like that. And he did that in his latest song as well. Rosalie, come on. What was it? I'm sorry, y'all. Tell me in the comments. 3, 2, 1, go. the most recent one where there was a lot of scriptural references, the valley of the shadow of death and suffering, and there was scriptural references, but where he made him his own. And mouth to mouth, right? All these references that are fitting to someone that is needing some type of medical attention.
Goalpost moving, grow up, then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black holes. Tobacco, I light up with my hat low. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing.
Here the Nephilim, right? Those angels, those creatures, those beings.
Roaming the earth with a severed wing.
But the severed wing, okay? So almost like some elite being, and references to Greek mythology again, very fitting to the words he mentioned in the beginning. But a severed wing, right? Broken. But later on, also earlier, just a second ago, he's talking about a chokehold and all those references. And then later on speaks of martial arts. Dude, how are you going to talk about one thing and then multiple stanzas later tie something in with that? Oh my gosh, it's not even just a rhyme scheme that works with the previous word or previous phrase. He will tie things in from 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. Sheesh.
The sword of Damocles is beckoning, hackling thoughts that torture porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come king?
Porcelain skin, right? Being frail, being fragile.
That brings the contrast to conquer his sins I bring. Whispers caught by the wind aboard the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. And
ooh, the fetus. Oh my gosh. Fetus?
pain makes men out of boys that were lost. It's across to the homies.
But was it also a reference to feeding, the what feeds us? I'm not sure.
Homies. And some get body bags, it rag tagged, and it still hurts low key. These concrete streets breed wolves from sheep in the land of the holy. And the legend don't die. I love that guy. This one for the broskies.
One for the broskies. I call my brother broskies. That's crazy, dude. Okay, really taking it from personal suffering to also the people around us that are suffering, the broskies, the homies that are dying, the bag that's zipped up and it hurts low key. Low key. Wait a minute. It hurts low key as in it somewhat hurts, but Loki is also, in addition to being a TV series, is a god in Norse mythology. Oh my gosh! Guys! It hurts Loki, right? That his homies and his broskies got killed and zipped up in the bag, right? Saying all that beautiful cadence flow, just flowing with the beat. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, catchy, right? Almost a little bit of that. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What is that thing that he does? Sally sells seashells, something like that. He likes doing that, those idioms and those childhood rhymes that he ties into it. And even the way that he's rapping here, that cadence flow has that vibe. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Makes me think of dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It hurts low-key, right? Low-key as in like it sorta hurts. Low-key. Also drops the key as he's singing it. Low-key. Drops the key musically, the note. But then also the reference to Loki, which was a Greek god in Norse mythology. Not Greek, sorry, Norse mythology. I mean, I don't know if that was intentional. Am I analyzing this too deep? Maybe. But the references, the double entendres, and the literary art is on another level. Yep, I said it again. Literary art. Literary art.
Pedal to metal, you know how we do. The devil and Jezebel coming for you.
Pedal to metal. And then the way that they're even doing their little head dance moves, right? As if you're like hitting the pedal, right? Trying to drive fast. The Jekyll is hiding inside of my view. Jekyll and Hyde, right? Those two sides, black and white here, the way that he's dressed. I mean, just symbolism, imagery, fitting message from videography to lyrics to the beat to the flow. Even the way the beat switched up here. I mean, come on. This is so multi-layered. I can't possibly pick this apart in one review.
Taking your rosy cheeks, painting them blue, turning your
rosy cheeks, painting them blue. But the idea of rosy cheeks and, right, something that's alive, right? When somebody is healthy and alive, they may have rosy cheeks, blood flow. Rosy cheeks, blood flow shows life. It turns blue means someone's dying or sick.
Clicking to Skellington Crew, stripping the soul from the base of your shoes. So watch
ooh,
my word.
Ripping the soles from the base of your shoes. Oh! If we're going to talk about some type of imagery that puts into words this whole topic in one, ripping a sole from the base of the shoes. Oh my gosh. And even that double entendre, the sole of your shoe, or at the bottom of your shoe, something you stepped on, something that's at the very bottom, but also the soul of something, right? Because we're talking about skeletons and souls and beings. I can't with this guy.
I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the booth. Switch up the star like biceps and press your
and then here,
tricep, bicep, I flex the
I missed that earlier. Oh snap. the headless thing. All these references that are so fitting, even the cinematography of this, to these ancient mythologies and these stories of old, the Norse mythology, the Greek mythologies. I mean, even the brain in the back and that torture vibe, ancient sword, just total feel of like a experimental torture chamber.
And lightning writing on Tesla. Connect, direct, pause, disconnect. Working in a lab, a mad bad lad next. Stop coming for your neck, the head that collect.
Are y'all hearing this? Are you guys hearing these things? I can't speak anymore.
A million degrees, graduate semester. A bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say.
People like to ubiquitous humanity erodes.
OKK with an AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Kill a ghost, kill a...
Here again, that reference. He say, she say. These plays and this what are they called? Those rhymes, I guess. I can't with this guy. I'm glad I'm rewatching this because the beat dropped so hard I just couldn't help but start dancing, but I was missing some things.
Giddy sick of the most. QB quicker on the trigger. Kick. Empty chamber, fill it reload. I cock it and hold. Bullet in the chamber, explode. And burrow through the pricks. Go, let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Soccer making crack. When I spread, that's the bread and the butter and I bled for the love of music.
Ooh, and then that crown of thorns, right? Earlier talking about the Nephilim with the broken wing. Here is maybe just be an experimental type of headband, torture chamber vibe, but also maybe a crown of thorns. And speaking earlier of that valley of the, no, what was it? The valley of the shadow, or there was some scriptural reference.
Let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Soccer making crack. When I spread, that's the bread and the butter and I bled for the love of music. Dead undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker. G sick. Yeah, I'm sick. I think I told you that I'm sick. Sucker click. And when I pull up on your click. Click. Homicidal traumatic. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.
Yeah, and that's where he's doing his little thing again, right? Those little, ooh, snap references. This part's heavy, the way they all fall at the same time. Amazing cinematography. Music video, phenomenal. Opens the mask, we see who it is. Nonchalantly almost, kind of like, well, that was that, right? No remorse, no regret. Walks away. I wonder if this really was a little bit of a reference to that movie. What was I saying earlier? Shizzle. Elysium. Not only the reference to the actual meaning of that word, that state of happiness, but also that movie. This is nuts. Guys, I know I'm probably missed a bunch of things, so now it's your turn. Light up the comments. If you like this review, click like, hit subscribe, share it with a friend. But even more so, go check out Ren's page. Many of you probably already follow him. If you don't, subscribe to his work. Support him on social media. Send him some love. Let's support him. Let's show him that even in this suffering that he is in, even in this place of, let me say the pronunciation right. I hope I'm saying it right. Even in this Tartarus of suffering and in this abyss of physical ailment and mental distress that he's experiencing, he is still impacting lives. He still has a purpose. His existence still matters. And that's my message for you too. If you're suffering, please know you're not alone. Turn it into something good. Create something. Turn whatever you're going through into something beautiful, something worthwhile that will change people's lives the way Ren is changing ours. This was powerful. Your turn to light up the comments with what you feel I missed or what you liked best or what stood out to you, because there's so much here. What do you think? Comment below. I'll see you on the next ride. Grab yourself some merch. Go subscribe to Ren and here. See you then. Bye.